Good morning. Barry Bryson here. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. We're continuing our study of the biographical Psalms of David by looking at Psalm 70. And in this psalm, it says, "To the choir master of David for the memorial offering." I'm not sure what this describes. It is written for an occasion, for the memorial offering. But memorizing or remembering, excuse me, not memorizing, but remembering, memorializing what event is being memorialized. We get no clues really in the song because it is a song asking for God to bring about justice and deliverance right now. It's a song that's looking for God to punish the wicked right now. And so it remembers in its verses no victories. It remembers in its verses no triumphs. The verses are imprecatory. The verses are a cry for help, and yet it is for the memorial offering, and so that's a great puzzlement to me. Let's read it. Only 5 verses, full of so much emotion and with sound effects. Hurry, God, to deliver me. Yahweh, hurry to help me. Let them be put to shame and confusion who seek my life. Let them be turned back and brought to dishonor who delight in my hurt. Let them turn back because of their shame. Those who say, ha, ha. May all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation say evermore, God is great, but I am poor and needy. Hurry, God. You are my help and my deliverer. O God, O Lord, do not delay. Okay, so we have throughout this song the word hurry up. It's almost like the book of Mark, because in Mark's gospel, everything happens immediately. And immediately this happened. And Mark creates this sense of the speed at which events are taking place. And David does the same thing in this song. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, he repeats throughout the song. I need you to do this now. And we have these couplets, let those who are doing this bad thing, let this bad thing happen to those who are doing this bad thing. Let them be turned back and brought to dishonor, those who delight in my hurt. Let them be turned back because of their shame, those who say, ha, ha. And David gives us the sound of their voices. There are times when the Word of God is like listening to a live recording, when the Bible so clearly evokes the sound of things that we can hear them in our own ears. Like when Jesus says Mary's name. When you're at the end of John's Gospel in John 20, you're reading along in Greek, and in Greek her name is Mari. But when Jesus says her name, it's there in the Aramaic, Mariam. And we get to hear the very word that came out of Jesus' mouth. And it's like hearing, and so that's a pleasant way of hearing the very sound. But here he's included the sound of their laughing at him. They're laughing at him. And he doesn't say they're laughing at me. He gives us they're laughing. Ha, ha. When is this written? When does he need this deliverance? So many try to connect this with Psalm 3 and Psalm 63 because of its brevity, mainly. And that's the stylistic point that makes them think, well, David's an older man, but as a younger man, he would have written about his grievances for a long, long time, and we've seen him do that. But I don't know. Maybe he's in a hurry. I need this to happen now. One imagines that he's literally on the run, like the time when Saul was on one side of the mountain and David was escaping on the other side of the mountain. And to me, this could have been written in one of those moments where he had such a narrow escape. And it's interesting that perhaps for the moment of memorial, for the moment of thanksgiving, David just evokes, he takes you back to that moment. In other words, this might be quite an inductive experience, one where you're not just looking at the sepia tone photographs, but you're put in the moment itself. And maybe that's why it was to be sung at the memorial offering, to bring everybody back to the moment of deliverance, to bring David himself back to it. It's which is another special effect of the song, the way the written word transcends the ink on the page, but really creates space for an actual experience. And that's happening here in this song, one way or the other. One more thing before we close. Verse 5. Even when David is at his most, I don't want to say vengeful, but is most demanding, in demanding justice now. He's never arrogant, ever, 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 ever. And when he says, hurry up and save me, hurry up and save me, he says, I am poor and needy. And he always knows that about himself. He always knows his smallness and his helplessness in this world. And that's why he needs God. Okay, thank you so much. Next time, we're going to look at Psalm 142. And we'll pick up there next time. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes.